Heidi Cody there. Yes. I don't even know how I was going to start this video, honestly. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are in the world. And I hope you're taking time to take care of yourself. This is the most important thing ever, because you are, again, the maestro of your experience. And you get to, manage your time, your energy, your resources, who you are willing or not willing to give that to, and that's it, period. Oh yeah, friendly reminder, stay hydrated. I know I do. I need to drink way more water. Anyways, this is gonna be another video on relationships. Oh my god, my favorite topic. I was going to say, man, relationships are interesting, aren't they? I used to, I don't know, I'm in this phase of my life where I absolutely fucking love talking to people. I think people are so interesting, irregardless of like whatever is happening in their world, but they certainly give you a glimpse into like what they are currently creating for themselves, you know. Just listen to people talk, you know. And if people are unhappy, of course, this is like, again, something that they've created for themselves, and they can always change it. You can always change it, you know. If you don't like something, change it. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and you know, I have a lot of friends that are single. For all you singles, you single people out there, and he was like really like he was complaining, and he was saying that he's so tired of being alone. And I'm like, well, you know, have you ever thought about the benefits of being alone? Like I said, and I posed this question. Always pose questions to yourself, guys. Pose questions to others. You know, like for me, instead of giving advice, I just ask them questions. Because if you ask them questions, then it kind of like forces them to self-reflect. You know, and if their answer is I don't know, then they just don't know. You know, they need to do more inner work. They need to like work on knowing themselves more. I mean, that's a starting point. If you don't know, then start getting to know yourself better, you know. But anyways, I posed this question. I said, okay, would you rather be alone, or would you rather be with someone who doesn't treat you right? And he immediately was like, I'd rather be alone. And I'm like, so you ever thought maybe you're alone, and I don't know, the universe or God or the higher power is like safeguarding you from like being stuck in a relationship with someone who's abusive? And then I you know, I further elaborate. I said, and imagine if you have a child with someone who doesn't treat you right. Even more so, you're like really, really bound, or you're binded to this other person because you created a child together, you know. So I'm just like, so you should, instead of looking like, maybe change your perspective, you know. Instead of like complaining about being alone, maybe you should be grateful that you're alone, because you're not stuck in a relationship with someone who doesn't treat you right. And also, you have all this time to like really like start exploring yourself, you know, becoming intimate with yourself. This person also was complaining about like being bored, and I was just like, yeah, I get bored too. And he's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I just accept it. I said, I feel like a lot of people, you know, for a lot of people, boredom is really uncomfortable. Like, it's an uncomfortable place to be, because we've been programmed to just be like go-getters, like do this, do that, keep going, keep doing, keep trying, keep striving, because that determines your worth, you know. And for me, I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. You know, I don't need to strive or try or be anything except myself, you know. And sometimes I do have like stints of boredom, and I literally just accept it. Like, I'll just like literally have this inner dialogue with myself. I'll be like, okay, right now I'm bored. And instead of choosing to react, and what I mean by react, people react by like, okay, I gotta go find something else to do. I gotta go like, you know, immerse myself in something else. And that's why like we have a lot of like, I don't know, like retail therapy, emotional eating going on. And I am not like devoid of that activity, because sometimes I do that, you know. But accept that. I don't guilt trip myself. I just accept, like, okay, right now I am obviously participating in this activity because it's a space filler. You know, sometimes though, like, I want to say 70% of the time I'll catch myself being bored, and I will just sit with the boredom. I'll just accept, like, okay, right now I'm bored, and it really doesn't like require me to like have a knee-jerk reaction and try to fill that space. I can just sit with it, and eventually it passes. Everything passes. That's the thing. And I've also noted that, like, a lot of people have a hard time like letting go. So instead of letting things pass, they have a tendency to like hold on. I myself have gone through these things, and on the rare occasion I still go through these things, but I catch myself, like, yeah, instead of like holding on to things, like, I just kind of like let it go, whether it be something bad or something good or something just like neutral. Just let things pass, let things flow, be in the flow, be in the now. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, going back to the conversation with my friend about being alone or being with someone, I'm just like, choose your heart, because he's like, oh, being alone is so hard. And I'm like, yeah, it is hard. I said, but also being in a relationship with someone else, and especially if that other person doesn't treat you well, is also hard. So choose your heart. I'm like, which heart do you want? And he's like, well, being alone. I'm like, okay, well, you just answered your own question. You know what I mean? But yeah, going with the reason I moved into the boredom thing is that was something else he was struggling with. And that's the thing, we make things a struggle when it can be very easy. We haven't been taught that. We've been programmed to believe that everything's a struggle, and it really isn't. I mean, you can make it a struggle. You can believe that narrative. You can believe that story that you've been force-fed for most of your life. But if you really like get a bird's eye view of things, that's just a narrative. That's a story that we've been conditioned to believe, and things can actually be quite easy. You just relinquish that story and change it. Like my friend, just change your perspective. Instead of being like, oh, I feel so bad and I feel so sad, I'm alone. It's just like, oh, well, I am alone, but now I have all this time for self-reflection. Now I have all this time to give to myself, all this time to like focus on loving myself and getting rid of things that no longer serve me. I have the time to do that, because I am not being fragmented by another person's needs, and just shift the perspective. Everybody always wants what they can't have, but maybe you don't have it because it's not meant for you. You ever thought about that? But then you're going to try and force life into place, and in that forcing you cause a lot of like distress and like confusion, and you waste a lot of energy. For me, I just fucking go with the flow, honestly. Going back to people watching, I feel like we all like to people watch. You know why I like to people watch? People are fucking, I've already said this in other videos, but they're like really interesting. I mean, they tell on themselves all the time. Like, you can just watch like their mannerisms, like micro movements, the way they think, because they'll outlet it through their words, their mannerisms, their, I don't know, the way they react or respond to things. It's so interesting. I fucking love watching people, and I think people like watching me. I don't know, it's weird. I've caught people watching me because I feel like, I don't know, they probably think I have like such an easy life. It's just because I just don't hold on to a lot of shit that doesn't serve me, guys. Life is so much lighter that way. I stopped the overthinking. I stopped, like, I don't know, expecting anything from anyone, including myself, and I just like appreciate things as they are and as they come and as they go. It's very simple. And when you're in alignment, like, everything just kind of falls into place effortlessly. Like, you just, man, if you know, you know. If you don't, then you still got to do the inner work, period. That's what do I mean by inner work, guys? Self-reflection, self-awareness, being highly intimate with yourself, and also being responsible, and holding yourself accountable for like what you're doing in this life. Also, I did make another video. It was very long, strong, and I'm probably not gonna post this. I'll just say it in this video right now. I did make a video like a while ago. Everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is you pushed out. So like one morning I was just chilling in my yard watching my cats, and cats are like the ultimate teachers. I don't know, man. They're interdependent. And they have really strong boundaries. Like if they want to be in your company, they'll come around. If they don't, they'll totally just walk away. You know, it doesn't matter what you say or do. They're just gonna do what they want. You know, what's best for them. And they're also like serial chillers. Like I don't know if you've seen a cat. Most of the day they're either sleeping or they're totally just like, to me it looks like they're lost in like a detached observational like thought. You know, like they're highly observant and they're highly sensitive to their surroundings, and they're just watching it, but they're not reacting or responding. Like I've watched cats like just watch leaves blow in the wind, or like watch a lizard like as it like climbs, I don't know, a bush or something, or they'll like watch like the play of light, you know, and shadow. And oh my god, it's so beautiful. They're just the most beautiful and calm and peaceful animals. But anyways, I was watching my cats, and then I came to the realization that, oh my god, I think the cats are an extension of me. And if you think about it, if you have an animal or a pet, your pets are probably an extension of yourself. And if you look at your surroundings are also an extension of yourself. And then the people that you predominantly like interact with, they are extensions of yourself. We are all, everything is you pushed out. So everything you're observing is you pushed out. You know what I mean? Because I could, in that moment when I was observing my cats, observing life, I was like, oh my god, that's literally me outside of me. I'm observing me outside of me. Does that make sense? And when you think about things in that way, oh my god, like I started like rolling into like, okay, thoughts. Like the universe is mental. Everything around us is mental. It starts with a thought, you know, and then the thought becomes a choice, and the action behind the choice becomes like the unfolding of yourself outside of yourself, you know. Like, and then I was like driving and I was looking at cars, and I was looking at, you know, the way the plants around me were landscaped, down to a sign, down to the roadway that I was driving on. And I'm like, all of this began with a thought. All of this began with a choice to actively put forth these things into reality, into existence. So everything was a thought, down to you, down to the body, down to like, I chose to wear this hat, I chose to wear this dress, I chose to drive this car, I chose to grab this crystal. Like, it's all you pushed out. Isn't that fucking miraculous? It's fucking miraculous. And depending on the I want to say the stage or level of evolution that you're in, and I don't think it's wrong or right, it's just we all need to move through different stages of evolution, right? You will be surrounded with such things. So if you're in a lower vibrational frequency, then that's probably when you'll be surrounded by like a lot of karmics. And what I mean by karmics is people who are like probably not, they're probably there to teach you lessons, life lessons, you know. And so it's going to be very uncomfortable. Like people who don't treat you right, you know, people who put you through a lot of pain, you know, those are karmics. They're teaching you life lessons so that you can like start growing into knowing more of yourself, doing the inner work, you know. Like people who, karmics are people who like, I want to say almost encourage you to do like, to stay stuck in like bad habits and stuff, you know, keep you bound, keep you stuck in a very low vibrational place. But once you do the inner work, you start rising higher and higher and higher out of all of that, and you get a bird's eye perspective, and then you start getting really, I want to say like, you start becoming more aware of how these things affect you and why you shouldn't or should have certain things in your life, and then you start proactively like making decisions and choices to cut through like stuff that's no longer good for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so like it's weird. I feel like in the beginning, like when you're unconscious and unaware, you are heavily enmeshed in karmic situations, karmic people. And then once you start kind of like getting clear with yourself, you start like recognizing how you're participating in that. And then you start like taking stock of like what's good for you, what's not good for you, what you should give your energy to, what you shouldn't give your energy to, and you start managing that more, like, I want to say, more wisely. Is that the word? That's not really the word I was looking for, but I will use that word. And then after that, you start kind of like getting so aligned and comfortable in your own energy that you don't let anything affect you. And what I mean by not letting things affect you is you can go out in the world amidst all the chaos and still be at peace. And then if you encounter someone who wants to like try to, I want to say, what is that called? Manipulate you. You encounter people who want to manipulate you or use your energy or destiny swap with you. You are hyper aware of that, and you just say no. You just go, no thank you, not okay with that, no thanks, bye, moving it along, with peace. Like, you don't have any resentment, you don't have the need to want to have to retaliate or like react in any way. You just like very calmly say no thank you. And that's kind of like what my cats do. Once they decide they don't want to have anything to do with you, they'll just leave. They don't think about it, they don't hold on to it, they don't overthink it, they don't like ruminate. They're just like, okay, I'm done with this human. I need to go off in my corner and have my own space and my own time, and I'm gonna do that with no guilt, or remorse or anything. Just do it. Just do it. Anyways, this video is like, whoa, 17 minutes long. I hope you are having the best life ever. And even if it's not your best or what you interpret to be the best, it's probably what you need in this moment. It's probably something you need to encounter now in order to give you the fuel that you need to propel yourself forward and higher. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. Thank you for stopping by. You're amazing. Don't forget that. And till next time, blessings to one and all. Amen.